Welcome everybody. Today we try to see the biological method of analysis, which is chapter 11 of pharmaceutical analysis 2. So this is mainly concerned with pharma stuff. So we can see this method in depth. So try to follow attentively, and if you are the newcomer for our channel, please don't forget to click the bell icon to subscribe and get hot tutorial video in the futures. So for our chapter pharmaceutical analysis 2 biological method of analysis can you. So the outline includes microbiological assays. Outline in Saman Fakata, microbiological assay, pyrogen testing, both in vivo and in vitro, microbial limit tests, sterility tests, and preservative tests. Saanan kanneen irratti xiyyeeffannee ilaalla jechuudha. Microbiological assay jechuudha. Pyrogen testing jechuudha. Both in vivo and in vitro. Yes, on test tube and inside the laboratory animal jechuudha. Microbial limit tests, sterility test, preservative efficacy test ilaalla. So what the objective of this unit is that at the end of the chapters, the student shall be able to describe a microbiological assay, pyrogen testing, microbial limit tests, sterility test, and preservative test. Kanaaf dhuma boqonnaa kanarratti barataan kamiyyuu microbiological assay jechuun maal jechuudha? Microbiological jechuun maal jechuudha? Assay jechuun immoo maal jechuudha? Walumaa galatti microbiological assay jechuun maali? Pyrogen testing kun immoo maal jechuudha? Microbial limit tests jechuun hoo limit sterility tests akkasumas preservative efficacy test jechuun maaliif nu fayyada kan jedhu beekuu qaba jechuudha. Kallattii mangaree introduction itti yeroo dhiifnu microbiological assay method are used to quantify the potency or antimicrobial activity of antibiotic. Yeah. Naaf qorichoonni farra bakteeriyaas ta'e farra fangasii potensiin isaa potensiin isaa yookaan immoo antimicrobial activity isaa maal fakkaata? Saayinsii beekuudhaaf meetodii nuti fayyadamnu microbiological method jedhama. So this microbial assay provides a direct measurement of the effectiveness of an antibiotic against the reference microorganisms. Yeah, by using different reference microorganism or reference standard antibiotic, we try to check whether the given drug is effective or not. Kanaaf qorichi tokko erga oomishamee booda kallattiimaan strain or microbiological strain maybe bacteria ta'uu danda'a yookaan fangasii ta'uu danda'a. Strain sana irratti check yookaan immoo test godhama jechuudha. Yeroo sana standardii first line antibiotic warroota ta'an wajjin compare gochuudhaan efficacy isaa yookaan effectiveness isaa beekuun ni danda'ama jechuudha. However, microbial assay have a limited selectivity and are not appropriate for evaluating organic impurity. Sometimes microbiological assay or microbial assay kun limitation qaba jechuudha. Maaliif different organic solvent yookaan organic impurity yoo jiraate select godhee adda baasuu hin danda'u jechuudha. Kanaaf limitation isaa inni guddaa maali? If your drug molecule have different organic impurity, it cannot have the ability to select selective potency. Also, specific skill sets required for performing microbiological antibiotic assay, their unique equipment requirement, and their comparative complexity determine stakeholders from using this method. Yeah, metodiin kuni akka metodii biraa salphaa miti. Skillii barbaada, infrastructurii barbaada. Maaliif jechuun meeshaalee barbaada jechuun meeshaa garaagaraa fakkeenyaaf meeshaalee they are very toxic microbial limit test hojjechuudhaaf meeshaalee gatii guddaadhaan bitaman barbaaduu isaa fi namoota hedduu irratti dadhabsiisaadha hojiin isaa jechuudha. Kanaaf this method is another limitation of this method is this one. So in contrast, physicochemical analytical procedures such as high performance liquid chromatography HPLC allow for simpler preparation and the analysis of samples and rapid data acquisition with improved precision, accuracy, selectivity and specificity. HPLC wajjin yeroo compare goonu actually microbial limit testing is almost simplest method dha. Actually sample preparation is also very simple. Analysis of sample and data acquisition also improved with precision, because this HPLC method needs what more sophisticated technique and sample preparation technique. So relative to this one is somewhat easy. So microbiological assay method have traditionally been used to quantify the potency or antimicrobial activity of antibiotics. So microbial assay method generally faayidaan isaa inni guddaan antimicrobial efficacy or potency as well as activity of antibiotic beekuudhaaf yookaan qorichi tokko farra bakteeriyaa yookaan immoo farra fangasii yookaan immoo farra any microorganism ta'uu isaa beekuudhaaf testiin inni jalqabaa yookaan immoo testiin simple testing microbiological test yookaan assay isa jennu kana jechuudha. Because simple disk diffusion fayyadamnee zone of inhibition isaa record gochuudhaan qorichi sun antibiotikiin sun effective dha moo effectivity jennee beekuu waan dandeenyuuf jechuudha. So this microbiological procedure were historically used to certify antibiotic on lot by lot basis to ensure sufficient activity. So before 1980, the monograph for several approved antibiotics were published in FDA's Code of Federal Regulation and 21 CFR. So yeah, almost bara 1980 irraa jalqabee different monograph yookaan pharmacopoeia garagaraa irratti metodoonni garagaraa approved ta'anii almost codified ta'anii kanneen ta'antu jira jechuudha. So this regulatory antibiotic assay procedure were later published in USP as official referee method to determine the potency of antibiotic. Yeah, sana booda immoo USP pharmacopoeia irratti officially beekamtee argate. Still now we are using this test for identifying the antibiotic effect of some drugs. Although the microbiological method provides direct proof of antimicrobial effectiveness and can integrate all moieties that contribute to antimicrobial effect in formulation, this method are less precise, more complex to perform and slower to complete than alternative methods such as analysis. Yeah, yeroo formulation hojjennu yookaan immoo formulation tokko erga hojjennee booda antimicrobial effect isaanii determine gochuun kuni precision irratti accuracy irratti xiqqoo accuracy gadi bu'aa qabachuudha yeroo HPLC wajjin compare goonu. So microbial assay also have a limited selectivity and are not appropriate for evaluating organic impurity kana dubbanne irraa. So HPLC method can be used effectively for both potency assignment and organic impurity profiling, because HPLC impurity profiling keessatti gahee guddaa taphata, especially if we are using diode detectors and gradient dilution. This HPLC have what impurity profiling ability. So microbiological assay to know the potency as well as impurity profile of your antibiotic, HPLC is preferable. HPLC filatamaadha jechuudha. So additionally, because modern instruments and the expertise to use such equipment are widely available, the conversion to alternative method may be economically advantageous. So the activity or potency of antibiotic can be determined by their inhibitory effect on microorganism under suitable condition. So actually we have two types of microbiological method are there. Stockholm cylinder plate method or plate assay, inni lammaffaan immoo turbidometry yookaan immoo tube assay method. Gara cylinder plate assay yeroo dhufnu, cylinder plate assay depend on the diffusion of antibiotic from vertical cylinder through a solidified agar layer in the petri dish or petri. Kanaaf this cylinder plate method kun inni diffusion of antibiotic irratti hundaa'a jechuudha. Vertically cylinder sana keessatti diffusion in antibiotic and microbial dose, microbial inhibition maal fakkaata kan jedhu nu agarsiisa jechuudha. So the growth of the specific microorganism inoculated into the agar is prevented in circular area or zone around the cylinder containing the solution of antibiotic. Yeah, cylinder plate sana keessatti strain of microorganism tu jira, maybe strain of bacteria or strain of fungi. This sana keessatti we can apply our drug. So at the end of the day, we have to record the area of strain that can be inhibited by antibiotic. Gara turbidometry as yeroo dhufnu turbidity isaa check goonu jechuudha. By using a device known as turbidimetry, meeshaa turbidimetry jedhamu sanaan turbidity of microorganism record goonu. So that's depend on the inhibition of growth of microorganism in the uniform solution of the antibiotic in the fluid medium that is favorable to the growth of the microorganism in absence of antibiotic. Without applying any antibiotic, you have to record the turbidity of your solution, whether it is uniform or different turbidity pattern are there without applying your drug or antibiotic. So during whether cylinder plate method or turbidometer method, we have two cultures are there, primary cultures and the working culture are there. This one is all about strain. So primary culture means that prepare a primary culture by transferring a test organism from prolonged storage vial into appropriate media and inoculate under appropriate growth condition. Store a primary culture at the appropriate temperature, meaning 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, and discard after 3 weeks. So a single strain of microorganism can be stay for maximum of 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, you have to discard it. So primary culture gaafa jennu strainii suni firiijii keessatti digirii seelsheesii 2 haga 8 gidduutti stoor ta'ee jira. Sana keessaa hamma tokko fudhannee subculture goone jechuudha. Subculture goone by using growth media irratti maal goona culture goone jechuudha. Culture goone. So irra deddeebinee subculture gochuudhaan purifier goonii booda sana booda jechuudha kan hojii keenyatti yookaan working culture kan qopheeffannu. A single primary culture can be used to prepare working culture only for as many as 7 days. So guyyaa 7 jechuudha. Single primary culture qopheessinu booda working culture isarraa hedduu qopheessuu dandeenya jechuudha. Garuu kuni kan ta'uu danda'u torbee tokko qofaaf. So working culture means that prepare a working culture by transferring a primary culture into appropriate solid media to obtain isolated colonies. Now we want to do what? A pure isolated colony so as to apply our drug molecule. Yes. Qoricha keenya yookaan antibiyootika keenya apply gochuun dura a single colony of bacterial strain or fungal strain argachuu waan qabnuuf primary strain irraa working strain qopheeffamuu. So inoculate working culture under appropriate condition to obtain satisfactory growth for preparation of the test in Necula. Then prepare a fresh working culture for each test a day or per day. So sana booda by comparing your culture growth with McFarland standard, if it is bacteria for example, and fungus, you can check the growth of this single inocula with your standard like McFarland standard. So then you have to apply on the growth media like agar, PD agar or Muller-Hinton agar, then you can test your antibiotic efficacy on that inocula. So for a cylinder plate assay, each plate includes only 2 treatments. The reference treatment, medial level standard S3, and one of the other 4 concentration of standard S1, S2, S4, and S5 for our sample or our standard, our reference sample U3. So the concentration of the sample is an estimate based on the target concentration, and the sample should be diluted to give a nominal concentration that is estimated to be equivalent to the median reference concentration of the standard. Kanaaf standard D or mid sana fakkeenya McFarland standard jennee reefu isa wajjin compare goone jechuudha. Working standard keenya qopheeffannee booda sana booda isarraa different concentration of standard qopheessuu dandeenya. S1, S2, S3, S4, S5 jennee jechuudha. Sarboda, we can apply on our inocular, maybe in petri dish or in the petri plates or in the cylinder. So, in terms of pyrogen test, both in vivo and in vitro, pyrogen tests, especially in vivo, pyrogen test is designed to limit the risk of febrile reaction for parenteral administration of the drug. Yeah. Pyrogen testing ko yeroo baay'ee design kan godhamu risk of parenteral administration beekuudhaaf, especially febrile reaction. Yes, different reaction that can be associated as a result of parenteral route of administration maal akka yes, fakkeenyaaf fo'a dabaluu ta'uu danda'a. Isaan kunniin check gochuuf kan fayyadudha pyrogen jechuun. So pyrogen test. So these intended to be used for liquid product that can be tolerated by the rabbit in the dose of 10 ml per kg instead of injected intravenously, generally within the period of not more than 4 times. So in vivo gaafa jennu, the test must be done either rabbit or mice. Yes. So bineensota laboratorii kan beeyladoota laboratorii ta'an irratti testing kun kan hojjetamu. Kanaaf yeroo parenteral administration gochuu tokko karaa parenteral administration, especially in IV, maybe subcutaneous injection gaafa goonu effective ni qabu, especially febrile reaction nu danda'u maal fakkaata kan jedhu adeemsa ittiin check goonuudha jechuudha. For a product that require preliminary preparation or are subject to special condition of administration, additional direction given in the monograph should be followed. Yeah, maybe in the pharmacopoeia, different additional information can be kept for such type of administration. So different preliminary preparation may be required. So you have to check before administration of your drugs through parenteral route. So especially your test animal is maal ta'uu qaba, fayyaa guutuu kan qabu ta'uu qaba. Fakkeenyaaf healthy ta'uu qaba, adult rabbit ta'uu qaba, geessa ta'uu qaba, preferably of the same variety isaas almost similar osoo ta'e bareedaadha. House of animal individually in an area of uniform temperature, yes, duration isaan environmental effect akka hin jirre temperature tokko wal fakkaatu keessatti, especially if the difference is plus or minus. So keessatti kan jira possibly with uniform humidity, free from disturbance, like to excite. Yes, they they must be free ta'uu qabu before experiment. Gara experimentii osoo seenu dura animal keenya bifa kanaan select gochuu qabna. Fayyaa isaa check gochuu qabna, umrii isaa, yes, environment inni keessa ture, humidity inni keessa ture, temperature inni keessa ture, yes, psychologically disturbance akka hin taane beekuu qabna jechuudha. So the animal are given lithium water and food commonly used for the laboratory animal, and one of this 1 to 3 days before using the animal that has not previously been used for the pyrogen test. Yes, animal sun sana dura pyrogen test kan hin fayyadne ta'uu qaba yookaan immoo kan test sun irratti hin hojjetamne ta'uu qaba. Condition it by conducting the training exercise as described under the recommended procedure, omitting the injection. Yeah. And do not use animal for pyrogen test more frequently than once every 48 hours. So the condition. And after the pyrogen test, in the course of which a rabbit temperature has risen by 0.5 or more, and after the rabbit has been given a test substance that was adjusted pyrogenic at least 2 weeks, must be under 2 labs before the animal is used again. So this one is a way of using animals for a pyrogen test, especially in vivo. When you come to in vitro, we have different tests like gel cloth technique. Gel cloth technique means that the technique used for detecting or quantifying endotoxin based on clothing on the lysate reagent in the presence of endotoxin. Yeah, kunimmoo gel cloth technique kun maalni yeroo baay'ee this technique can be used faayidaan isaa inni guddaan detection keessatti yookaan quantify of endotoxin garagara. Yes, endotoxin garagara jiraachuu dhabuu isaanii kan nuuf akeeku jechuudha. Kan nuuf akeekudha. Fakkeenyaaf the minimum concentration of endotoxin required to cause the lysate to clots under standard condition is labeled sensitive to the lysate reaction. So if you want to check the whether the endotoxin or the content of or quantity of endotoxin is very high in the lysate, you have to check this gel cloth technique. No? Libra photometric quantification technique. No? Okay, yeah, turbidimetric technique. If you are by using simply turbidometry, you can check whether your drug, your pyrogen test or different turbid are there or not on your drugs before administration. Yes, before administration, especially to the parenteral administration. There is also chromogenic technique are there. This technique is an assay to measure the chromophore released from the suitable chromogenic peptide by the reaction of endotoxin with lysates. On the basis of the particular assay principle employed, this technique may be classified as either an endpoint chromogenic assay or kinetic chromogenic assay. This chromogenic assay, almost can fayyadu to measure the chromophore released from suitable chromogenic peptide by the reaction of endotoxin with lysate. Liquids bakka lamatti qoodama. Endotoxin chromogenic. This technique can be classified into two: endpoint chromogenic and the kinetic chromogenic. Endpoint chromogenic assay gaafa jennu the relationship between concentration of endotoxin and the release of chromophore at the end of the incubation period. Incubation period yookaan yeroo incubate godhu sana booda ratio isaa yookaan immoo relationship isaa, quantity isaa, especially the quantity of endotoxin with chromophore gochuudhaaf yookaan immoo relate gochuudhaaf kan fayyadu endpoint chromogenic assay jedhama. Kinetic chromogenic assay method immoo the measure that either time or onset of action isaa determine gochuudhaaf kan nu fayyadudha jechuudha, especially at 37 degrees Celsius. The other one is sterility testing. Sterility test is a test used for or carried out under aseptic condition, and in order to achieve such condition, the test environment has to be adapted to the way in which the sterility is performed. So this test is used for confirmation of absence of viable microorganism. Yeroo baay'ee sterility test kan hojjennu microbial contamination hin jiru jechuudhaaf yeroo baay'ee kan hojjennu jechuudha. So precautions taken to avoid contamination are such that they do not affect any microorganism which are usually revealed in the test. The working conditions in which the tests are performed are monitored regularly by appropriate sampling of the working area and by carrying out appropriate control mechanisms. So sterility testing can be takes place under aseptic condition. Culture media and the incubation temperature are there. For example, our thioglycolate medium is primarily intended for the culture, especially in anaerobic bacteria. However, it will also be detect aerobic bacteria. Not only this, there is soybean casein digest medium is also suitable for culture of both fungi and aerobic bacteria. So it's an fluid thioglycolate medium soybean casein, these two culture, culture media. If you take fluid thioglycolate medium, it will be incubated at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, and for product containing a mercurial preservative that cannot be tested by the membrane filtration method, fluid thioglycolate medium incubated to low temperature at 20 to 25, almost at room temperature, may be used instead of soybean casein digest medium, provided that has been validated as described in the growth promotion tests. So this is the way how you have to use this culture media and the temperature under which this culture media can be used for our experiments. Prepare the mixture having the same composition as that of the fluid thioglycolate medium, but omitting the agar and resazurin sodium solution. Sterility as directed above. So the pH after sterilization must be neutral, and heat in the water bath prior to use and incubate at 30 to 35 under anaerobic condition, under anaerobic condition. There is no, you have to avoid the presence of oxygen there. There is also a media for penicillin or cephalosporins. Here, where sterility test media are to be used in the direct inoculation of the culture media method used under test for sterility of the product to be examined. Modify the preparation of fluid glycolate medium and the soybean casein digest medium as follows. For example, to the container of each medium, transfer aseptically a quantity of beta-lactam is sufficient to inactivate the amount of antibiotic in the specimen under test 1. Again, you have to determine the quantity of beta-lactam required to inactivate the antibiotic by using a lactamase preparation that have been said previously for its injection, for its penicillin or cephalosporin inactivating power. Yeah, enough. What type of safety yeroo penicillin or cephalosporin media qopheeffannu safety procedure nuti follow goonu maayinni kan jedhu fakkeenyaaf container sana keessatti you have to add aseptically the sufficient quantity of beta-lactams. Kana gochuun maaliif nu fayyada? To inactivate antibiotic in the specimen under test. Yes, to inactivate any amount of antibiotic in the specimen, you have to add sufficient amount of what? Beta-lactams. There is also another technique known as membrane filtration. Now you have to transfer a content of the container or containers to be tested to the membrane or membranes, if necessary, after diluting to the volume used in the method of suitability. So you have to filter immediately. Then, if the product has antimicrobial property, wash the membrane no less than 3 times by filtering through it. Each the volume of the chosen sterile diluent used in the method of suitability. So do not exceed a washing cycle 5 times using 100 ml per filter, even if during the method suitability it has been demonstrated that such cycle does not fully eliminate the antimicrobial activity. So this one is a membrane filtration, the one which can be used for avoiding any microbial contaminants. But during that time you have to follow this procedure. For example, you have to wash 3 times, but not more than 5 times at a time. So you have to transfer the whole membrane to the culture media or cut it aseptically into 2 equal parts. Then transfer 1/2 of each of the 2 suitable media. Use the same volume of each media as method suitability test. Alternatively, transfer the medium onto the membrane in the apparatus as well as incubate the media for no less than 14 days. So, guyyaa afurii nan qabne keessatti maal gochuu qabna? Incubate gochuu qabna jechuudha. Incubate gochuu qabna ergaa procedure kana follow goonee filter erga goonee booda jechuudha. Filter erga goonee booda guyyaa afuriif yookaan immoo torbee lamaaf maal goona? Incubate gochuu nurra eegala. The other one is preservative effectiveness tests. Yeah, you know that we use different preservatives during the formulation, so you have to check your preservative effectiveness by using a test. So, for example, the microorganism of some of the same bacterial species as the bacteria used to manufacture the biological indicator may be inoculated directly into the liquid product to be sterilized, or into the liquid product similar to that of to be sterilized. So in this case, it must be demonstrated that the liquid product has no inhibiting effect on the spores used, especially as regards germination. Yeah. So what I wanted to explain here is that you have to use the same microorganism or the same bacterial species with the bacteria used for manufacturing of biological indicator. So during such type of phenomena, during such type of experiment, you have to sterilize your product, or you have to inoculate directly into a product, or you have to sterilize it into a liquid product similar to that bacterial condition to be sterilized. So in this case, you have to demonstrate the liquid product has no inhibiting effect on the spores, especially that regards their germination. So if pharmaceutical preparation does not itself have adequate antimicrobial activity, antimicrobial preservative may be added, particularly to accuse preparation, to prevent proliferation, to limit microbial contamination, which during normal condition of storage and use, particularly for multi-dose containers, could occur in products and present a hazard to the patient from infectious and spoilage of the preparation. Yeah, sometimes pharmaceutical product in qopheeffanna yeroo qopheeffannu pharmaceutical product nuti qopheeffanne suni antimicrobial activity gahaa ta'e dhabuu danda'a. Yeroo sana antimicrobial preservative garagaraa daballa. Preservative garagaraa daballa jechuudha. Kanaaf yeroo daballu san specially accused preparation keessatti you have to avoid proliferation ta'uu danda'a, to limit microbial contamination ta'uu danda'a. Isaan kana yeroo san you have to add what another microorganisms. So these antimicrobial preservatives must be used as a substitute for good manufacturing practice. So yeah, GMP and GLP. If the efficacy of the antimicrobial preservative may be enhanced or diminished by the active constituent of the preparation or by the formulation which is incorporated or by the container and the closure used. So the antimicrobial activity of the preparation in its final container is investigated over the period of validity to ensure that such activity has not been impaired by storage. So such investigation will be carried out on a sample removed from the final containers immediately prior or before testing. Therefore, during development of pharmaceutical preparation, it shall be demonstrated that the antimicrobial activity of the preparation as such, or if necessary with the addition of suitable preservative or preservative provides adequate protection from the adverse effect as well as may raise from antimicrobial contamination, proliferation during the storage and the use of preparation. Therefore, you have to take care during addition of microorganisms or microorganism into formulation. So the test is not intended to use for routine and quality control purpose. The other one is a test for efficacy and antimicrobial preservation. For example, the test consists of challenging the preparation wherever possible in its final container with a prescribed inoculum of suitable microorganism, storing the inoculated preparation of the prescribed at the prescribed temperature, withdrawing a sample from the container at specific interval of time, counting the microorganism in the sample so be removed. So this one is the efficacy of antimicrobial preservation techniques. And you have to take care during this such type of test because you have to check the prescribed inoculation time, inoculation temperature, as well as inoculation containers for your antimicrobial preservative. So these preservative properties of preparation are adequate if in the condition of the test there is significant fall or non-phase as appropriate in case of or in the number of microorganisms in the inoculated preparation after the time and the temperature prescribed. So the acceptance criteria in terms of decrease in number of microorganisms with time vary for different types of preparation according to the degree of protection intended. So the acceptance criteria also depend on the degree of protection and the type of microorganism or number of microorganisms with time. So how we can prepare this inoculant? So preparatory to the test, inoculate the surface of the case in soybean, digest agar for bacteria or route dextrose agar or PDA without the addition of antibiotic for fungi. With the recently grown stock culture of each specified microorganism can be inoculated on the petri plate or petri dish. So incubate the bacterial culture at 30 to 35 or 80 to 24 hours, and the culture of Candida albicans to 20 to 25 degrees Celsius for 48 hours. The culture of different bacteria and the different fungi can be cultured at this temperature in the with duration of this time. So subcultures may be needed after revival before the microorganism in its optimal state, but it's recommended that their number keep minimum. Yeah, to purify we have to use what subculturing technique many times at a minimum concentration or minimum number. So this microbial limit test is a test that allows quantitative enumeration of mesophilic bacteria and fungi that may grow under anaerobic condition or the presence of oxygen. So the tests are designed primarily to determine whether a substance or preparation complies with the established specification for microbiological quality or not. So such method is not applicable to product containing viable microorganism as an active ingredient. Alternatively, microbiological procedure including automated method may be used provide that their equivalence to the pharmacopoeial method has been demonstrated. So this microbial limit test can be used to allow quantitative enumeration of mesophilic bacteria as well as fungi under aerobic condition. But we have using an alternative microbiological procedure like automated method may be used, providing that their equivalence to the pharmacopoeial method. Yeah, if the surface active substances are used for sample preparation, their absence of toxicity for microorganisms, their compatibility with any activators used must be demonstrated. For example, membrane filtration, this membrane filtration, especially use membrane filter having a nominal pore size no greater than 45 or 0.45 micrometer, and the type of filter material is chosen in such a way that the bacteria retaining efficiency is not affected by the component of the sample to be investigated. For each of microorganisms listed, one membrane filter may be used. There is also a plate count method. This plate count method perform a plate count method at least in duplicate for each media, and they use a mean count of the result. So this power plate method for plating dish 9 cm in diameter, add a dish of 1 ml of the sample prepared as prescribed under prescription of the sample. Now inoculation and dilution as well as neutralization or removal of antimicrobial activity, and 50 to this 20 ml of soybean casein digest or sprout dextrose agar pose medium maintained at no more than 45. Now this microorganism listed in table 1, at least 2 petri dish are used to incubate the plate as indicated in the given. Now at the end of the day, you have to take the arithmetic mean of your count per medium, and you have to calculate the number of CFU colony forming units of the original inoculum at the end of the day. There are also most probable number method are there, so you have to different method are there for this microbiological test. So how you can prepare our sample for the test? The method for preparation depends on the physical characteristics of the procedure to be used. For example, if you want to sample water-soluble product, you have to dissolve or dilute. Usually 1 in 10 dilution or 1 to 10 ratio is prepared. The product to be examined is buffered in sodium chloride, peptone solution at 7 pH, and a phosphate buffer solution of 7.1 in soybean casein digest. If necessary, adjust the pH to 6 to 8. Further dilution where necessary are prepared with the same diluent technical there. And if non-fatty products or insoluble in water, you have to sustain the product to be examined in buffered sodium chloride peptone solution at neutral pH. And this one, now the surface active agent such as 1 gram per liter of polysorbate 80 may be added to assist the suspension of purely vegetable substance. If necessary, you have to adjust the pH to 6 to 8 ranges. If this fatty product, you have to resolve in isopropyl maestic states, sterilized by filtration, and or mix the product to be examined with a minimum necessary quantity of sterile polysorbate or another non-inhibitory sterile surface active agent heated, if necessary, not more than 40 or exceptional case no more than 35. So this one is the way how you have to prepare your sample based on the nature of your sample, maybe water soluble, fat soluble, or different. So based this the nature of your sample, you have to use what different technique or sample preparation. The reverse of transdermal patch, this is remove the protective cover sheets or release liners of the transdermal patch and place the adhesive side upward on the sterile glass or plastic tray. Now you have to cover the adhesive surface with suitable sterile porous material like sterile gauze to prevent the patch from striking together, and transfer the patch to the suitable volume of the chosen diluent containing the activator such as polysorbate 80 or lecithin. Now you have to shake the preparation vigorously for at least 30 minutes. So this one is the way how you have to prepare your transdermal patches. Solution negative control and neutralization as well as removal of antimicrobial activity are there, so you have to refer such type of concepts from your reference material. So thank you very much for